Hello YouTube viewers, fellow survivalists, preppers and bushcrafters. I've got a question for you. You have a stash which is on the way to wherever it is you've decided is your safe place in the event you've got to leave your home, okay? But come that day, you can't get it yourself. Maybe you're injured, maybe you're somewhere else in the country, okay? So how do you get somebody else, maybe your family, partner, someone like that, onto your stash? Remember, your stash, you've buried it, maybe it's concealed, it's in, out the way. It's not somewhere you can just stumble onto. So it could be quite difficult getting somebody else on top of your stash so they can dig it up when you're not there. So if you'd like to find out how, stick around. I'll give you a clue. It will involve using a compass. All right then, so where we are at the moment is you have got me to come and collect your stash. I'm in the woods and I've found this tree stump, okay? This is the only tree stump in the area, so it's unique. But of course, how have you got me to this place? Because, in a forest surrounded by trees, how am I going to find a tree stump, okay? So I'm just going to say that we both can read a map, we can both do grid references and bearings and stuff. So you've given me an 8-figure grid reference, which I've then used to map read my way here. Once I get in the area, I know I'm looking for a single tree stump. Here we are, okay? Because you got to think yourself, you've got to gather information to somebody over the telephone. Now, if it's meltdown and you've had to leave your home, what makes you think that the mobile phone networks are going to be working? They're probably not. So don't think you can just do a map and photograph it and WhatsApp it to me, because you can't, or you probably won't be able to, okay? Chances are the mobile phone network will be up mainly, but probably where you are, it's down, or where I am, it's down. It doesn't matter, either one. You'll get a landline, but you won't be able to do any mobile phone stuff. So I can give you a good reference over a landline. That's easy, okay? I can tell you it's a tree stump at this grid reference. So here I am in the forest at my start point, which is unique. Now, it doesn't have to be a tree stump. I'm using a tree stump, but like a footpath crossing a stream, that's not going to change for hundreds of years, okay? Someone like that that's absolutely unique in the area that you cannot mistake. Okay, so the next thing is, you've got me to this point. You've also told me that it's on a bearing, and we're going to learn bearings later on if you need to learn it, but you've told me it's on a bearing of 20 degrees magnetic. So I've got my compass, okay, and I'm setting it for 20 degrees magnetic, and I'm getting a direction of 20 degrees magnetic, which happens to be over there, okay? And so I identified a tree that's in the right direction, okay? And what I need to do next is I need to go the distance that you've told me it is, and you've told me it's 10 meters, okay? You haven't told me it's 10 paces, because that's different, because it needs to be exact. Because if I'm trying to dig something up here, but I actually end up here and start digging there, I'm going to miss it, and then where do I go? I don't know which way I'm going. So I want to be as accurate as possible, and any error that gets introduced at this point, when you pass the information to me, it's just going to get worse. So we need to be as perfect as possible. So this bearing I've got, absolutely bang on. The distance, you told me 10 meters, so I have string 10 meters long. So in a minute I'm going to just run that off. So I'm at the stash end of this at the moment. I'm now going to go back to the start and run out 10 meters so you can see how it works. Okay, so notice I was trying to be as accurate as possible. Okay, as accurate as possible, absolutely on the direction. And when I get here, my 10 meters is this loop in the string. Okay, so I've got my 10 meters. Let's put that down. Okay, so I'm in now the area. I've gone on a bearing of 20 degrees from my start, a distance of 10 meters, and that's got me into the forest somewhere. And I'm now looking for somewhere that's going to confirm that I'm in the right place. So it needs to be something that's useful, visible, but wouldn't really attract the attention of somebody if they just came wandering through. So here we are on the floor. I have a segment of wood. It's like just a slice. Okay, so this is all it is. It's just a slice of wood. There it is. That's all it is. However, when it's lying there on the floor, and after it's been covered over with you know, pine needles and stuff, it just looks like any old other stump. But there aren't any other stumps around. Okay, it is the only one. Okay, again, unique, but not so outstanding that any passerby would wonder what it is. Okay, now for the next stage of this video, where we learn how to set bearings and take bearings and things like that. So here I am, I've got this piece of wood on the floor which I'm resting a compass on, and I want to take a bearing to, see that lone bush in the middle of the picture. Okay, that lone bush in the middle of the picture, and I want you to notice that my direction of travel on the compass, okay, is pointing towards the lone bush. Okay, so phase one has been complete. We've got the direction of travel heading towards where we want to go. Now, if we understand that a bearing is merely a angle from north, so it's just a direction. So like, you know, like north is a direction, east is a direction, south, where those are all directions. But if you put a number on them, if we said a circle has 360 degrees and we use a degrees compass, then we can say that 0 is north. Okay, so in this case, can you see that the magnetic needle is here? Okay, and whichever way around I turn that compass, the magnetic needle always points the same direction. Okay, now there is another red needle there. We'll come to that in a minute. Okay, at the moment we're dealing with this red needle there, and as I turn the compass around, it stays in the same place all the time, heading towards magnetic north. Okay, so if I now put the compass direction of travel where we're going, the magnetic needle is this way, and these numbers on the outside go up to 360. Now if I can put 0, which is represented by north, on the dial, line it up like so, as accurate as possible, can you see that the direction of travel is actually very slightly off south? Okay, so it's actually 160, 170, about 179 degrees, because south will be 180. So 140, 160, 170, and then these are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so the bearing, the magnetic bearing to that bush is 179 degrees. Okay, now if I pick another direction, I'm just going to randomize a direction now. Let's say it's this way. Okay, that way. Heading that way. The compass needle is still pointing the same way. So if I now put north, oh, hold it still. If I now put north on the compass needle, again, nicely lined up like so. Okay, keep it still. All right, can you see that the direction of travel is actually on around about 90? So it's the same as east. Okay, what a coincidence. Let's look at one more in a different direction. So we're going to go over here this time. All right, so again, the direction of travel is this way. Let's get something else to point with, something a bit better. Okay, so the direction of travel is now this way. See where the arrow is pointing? So if I hold the compass still, like that, put the north or the 0 onto where, come on, keep still, onto the 0, like that, and it nicely lined up. Okay, so in this case, our direction of travel actually is going to be, well, 300, 310, 300, and I'll make that 316, but my eyes are a bit knackered. Okay, about 316. So the compass bearing there is 316. So that's how to produce a compass bearing in the first place. Okay, and just one more small point, just to make everything clear. Remember I said at the beginning that a bearing is an angle from north but going clockwise. So if this is the north, magnetic north, okay, we always go clockwise, which is this way round, okay, to give us the angle. That way every direction is unique. Okay, always go from magnetic north, you go clockwise all the way around to there. Okay, not the short way. Okay, because you might be tempted to think, oh, I've got an angle there, you know, that's what I'll do, the small angle. No, always go the same way from north clockwise, and you'll be right every time. That way every direction has only one number and one number only. Okay, now we're going to move on to setting a bearing that somebody else has given you. Okay, so we're going to get an aerial view again, like we've just been doing, of the compass. So here's what happens. So let's say that you told me it's a bearing of 210 degrees. So I get my compass, and it doesn't matter. Let's just spin it randomly to start off with. So I've got no idea. So it's just come out of your pocket. Right, so I need 210 degrees. So we're going to do the process we've just done, but in reverse. So the first thing I do is set the number 210 on the direction of travel. And the direction of travel is there. Okay, because direction of travel is that way. So this is where it is. So I'm going to get it nice and close. So we're going to see this 210, 210, 210. Is that right? My eyes are a bit dodgy, so I think that's about 210. Slightly, yeah, okay. I think that's 210. Okay, so I've now set 210. What I need to do next is I need to rotate the compass so that the compass needle lines up with, remember it's north, so the compass needle lines up with north. As I spin it, see, it's lined, here we go, it's almost there, it's now lined up with north. Okay, so let's get it, okay, now, so when I put this down on the stump, okay, so my direction of travel is that way. Okay, that way. So I'll do another one. Okay, so would somebody like to, I'm going to just spin this now, would someone like to pick a number at random? 45. Okay, I'll do 45. Okay, here we go. So there's the, right, so I'm going to put 45 there. Here we go, 45. Got to find it. 40. Ooh, 40. There's. Ooh. Is that about 45? Something like that. Can't really tell. 45. Hope it's in focus. 45. Again, I'm now going to spin the whole thing round so the compass needle lines up with north, which you might have noticed is the red arrow on the plastic underneath. Okay, and that means that a bearing of 45 degrees is that way. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to do that, how it looks when you're doing it for real. Okay, so here we are, back at my stump, just got here. You've told me 20 degrees, so I'll get my compass and I set 20 degrees on the dial. Okay, 20 degrees on the direction of travel, which is at the top of the compass there. Okay, I don't expect to be able to read that at the moment, but maybe I can blow it up later on. 20 degrees. Okay, now hold the compass horizontal. Okay, now this is important because the compass needle is kept in this disc, and there's a bit of plastic above it and a bit of plastic below it. And if you tilt the compass, if you tilt it, then you're going to tilt the needle, and the end of the needle is going to touch the plastic, and it isn't going to turn, or it won't turn very well. So keep it absolutely flat, and then just rotate the compass round until the magnetic needle rests towards north, or on top of that red arrow I'm drawn on the plastic. So we've got the compass needle pointing that way, but my direction of travel is pointing that way. And now I just follow the direction of travel. But I don't walk along like this. What I do is, I look along the direction of travel, and I look for something that's on my line, and now I see maybe it's a special tree or a particular bush, look on my line, then I can put that down and I can walk towards my target. Okay, so that's how you can give me information over the phone, so I can get to your start point, set the bearing you've given me, travel the correct distance, find the marker that's on the ground, and then dig and find your stash. Thank you.